All right, so here it is. I picked up the GoPro 13 because I've been carrying the GoPro 10 for the past 3 years, and I've had some issues on trail, specifically with it overheating and getting too cold in terms of not being able to shoot in cold temperatures. In addition, I've noticed my battery life has shrunk. Obviously, as you use the batteries, those batteries will degrade over time. But what I was looking for was a stronger battery, the ability to withstand the elements, and the new GoPro 13 has lenses that allow you to get a little closer, as well as get a wider perspective for that more cinematic view. So in this video, I'm just going to show you the differences between my 10 and the 13 so you can see a first-hand experience from a physical perspective, what it looks like, but also my general perspective on if it's worth it. In addition, I'll go ahead and include some clips from today's hike as well. Okay, here it is, my two GoPros that I'm using on trail right now, the GoPro 10 and the GoPro 13. I just picked it up this week, and here is my old trusty GoPro 10. As you can see, it's seen a few miles, but doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. So in today's video, I'm really just going to be talking about the pros and cons of the upgrades, and if it's worth it to make a move if you own a 10 or 11 or even a 12 if it makes sense for you to move into the 13. Now, for me specifically, the reason why I picked this particular camera up was I heard that the battery would last longer, and the fact that you're going to be able to help with the overheating in terms of this design to help with airflow. I did like the 1/4-inch mount on the bottom and the lenses. So those are the reasons why I wanted to pick it up. There's a bunch of different lenses that you can interchange on the GoPro, just like you have been able to in the past, but specific to this, you've got some ND filters, a macro lens, a wide lens. All these different things will automatically calibrate on the new GoPro 13, so I thought that was pretty interesting. But looking at these two GoPros side by side, you start to notice right off the bat that they are relatively the same size, right? Well, that's because they are. In fact, this GoPro will fit inside of my media mod, as well as this one. They both fit because they are the same size. But on the bottom, you start to notice some differences. As you can see here, this is the classic fold-away GoPro mount, and you have the microphones down below. And on this side, the difference is not only do you have magnets now below, you have a slight modification in terms of the shape of what that looks like. I don't know if you can see side by side there. But you have two magnets in here, and there's some magnetic clamps that allow you to do some quick mounting magnetically. But there's also a 1/4-inch mount, which is huge because I have various different accessories that I use, like this, and we'll talk about some of the things I'm using for the GoPro in a minute. But the 1/4-inch mount will fit directly in there, so I don't have to have a GoPro mount, and that can be frustrating at times. So that's one difference, right? And then again, the front, having that design to help with overheating, and the screen itself, same size, it's just not printed on the shell, it's printed on the lens. Not a real big change there. On the sides here, you'll see 13 on one side, 10 on the other. And the doors, they look to be pretty much the same. Now, what I will say is that the GoPro 10 versus the GoPro 13, right, they're different size batteries. So what does that mean? Well, that means I have the pleasure of buying more batteries. Now, let me put these GoPros on the side here so you can see the differences between the two batteries. They're the Enduro batteries, and I had to purchase some new ones because the old ones, not only were they not working in cold weather, but I also have some expanding, and the battery life was degrading on them. So after a year of use, I had to buy some more batteries. This one is the new Enduro battery. You can see it's got blue lettering, and where the mount is, I guess where the pins that connect is on a different location. But supposedly this is supposed to last longer in terms of overall life, but also do better in colder and warmer temperatures. Now, I've been on trail multiple times and had my GoPro cut out on me just because it was too cold. Now, I would like to do a test on this particular GoPro to see if it'll work in my freezer, but I don't want to give away too much information, and I hope I don't ruin my GoPro. My friend was like, I couldn't spend $400 and just throw it in the freezer. Well, I want to know if it's going to work before I get on trail. So I'm going to go ahead and put the battery in the 10 here because I want to show you some differences in the navigation. I did feel that on the 13, it's easier to navigate, right? But before I do that, I did want to show you the lens, right? So now you can just easily pop the lens off, and as you can see there, they have this automatic calibration. This little blue thing here will automatically determine what kind of lens you have on the GoPro. And once it's on there, it'll automatically know which lens it is based on, I guess it's information within the lens itself. And I'm gonna turn this one on as well. Now, as I turn these on the back, the navigation appears to be similar, right? But it's not, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I mean by that. So if you look at the settings versus the settings on this one, they don't look the same right off the bat, right? Which is okay. The preferences, you can see how the navigation is slightly different. Now I have GPS turned on this one, not on this one, but again, they have different ways to get to different things. So the screens are a little bit different. So if you're used to the navigation on these, that's one thing to consider. Is it that confusing? No. Like obviously you have LED beeps on, beeps off. I can do the same over here. Volume on. This more specifically within the preferences, you can dial down a little bit more. But again, it's a little bit of a different navigation. Now, as I get back into looking at these cameras side by side, you can see that the screens are pretty much the same size. Really, it's just the battery, the lenses, the mount. That's what I've seen so far. I have taken it out on trail, and I'm able to do a little bit of testing with them. And I guess I should go through some of that footage now. Okay, so here is the GoPro 10 and my old media mod with my Lume Cube light source. These are great in conditions where you're trying to reduce the wind, but also low lit areas. This combo works great. So the 10, how you work, just connect it like such, and you just simply slide it in and you're good to go, right? Well, the surprise was with the 13, you think with the upgrade with the battery, that wouldn't be possible, but here's the 13, and sure enough, it's a perfect fit. So that's pretty cool. So again, as you turn it on, the system automatically knows that it has the media mod on there. So you can see the calibration happening there in terms of the levels. But also on the back here, you'll see with this Lume Cube, I can get more light. Now, I don't know how this will look on the video, but for the most part, what I'm trying to show you is that this is a great opportunity to increase the light, especially in low lit areas, because GoPros are not shooting that well. Again, I have some footage here I'll share with you, but this is what I've been using to combat that. And again, this media mod works on the GoPro 10 to the 13. So that is a plus. I didn't have to completely ditch some of my accessories. So if you found any value in this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and send me your comments as I do respond. As always, thanks for watching, but until next time, let's keep moving.